Hello, my name is Sister Toby Lardie. I serve as the pastoral leader for the Sisters of the Humility of Mary. The immigrant question is not just something on paper for me. I spent several years working with groups of immigrants all throughout the United States. Many of these people had come seeking jobs, but more and more they came fleeing the violence and the atrocities in their own countries. I also spent time in El Salvador, where I got to see exactly what that experience was for them. And from my understanding, that continues to grow worse. I was in Miami a couple of years ago, and I had the opportunity to meet a young man who had come to the United States from Central America. He, in fact, was fleeing the violence because of the gangs there. Two different gangs wanted him to be a member, and since he refused both of them, both gangs were trying to kill him. And so, on his own, as a young teenager, he came to the United States. There he asked for amnesty and spent quite some time in detention centers until his case could be presented. I happened to be there when he had his final hearing in court. He gave his reasons for wanting to be in the United States, and the judge had a huge pile of documents on his desk that lawyers had presented to him. And this young man was so nervous because if he had to go back to Central America, he knew he would be killed by one gang or the other. So we were all nervous as we waited for the judge to finally make his decision. And when he said he granted amnesty, the young man cried. Every single one of us in the courtroom cried, knowing this man at last could be safe and at last could get out of the detention center and have legal documents here in the United States. That's just one person among many, many. Our HM mission statement commits us to take action in solidarity with women and children, especially those who are marginalized and disenfranchised. As I said earlier in my example of the young man, in that situation, the judge said very clearly to everyone that the reason he granted amnesty was because the lawyers had done all of their homework and had every paper that the judge needed to make a good decision. And so for this reason, we as Sisters of the Humility of Mary see this as a very, very important need and an emergency need, that the children have representation. When they don't have representation, there's no reason to keep them in the United States. And so we would like to collect money. We would like to invite you to be partners with us in collecting money so that we can help pay for one attorney to work there with the children to be able to represent them in court.